At various times I've specialized in weight loss or smoking or this or that, but actually I like to work with a whole range of issues. But my specialism now is working with trauma, which of course gets into all sorts of issues. So because trauma is at the root of most people's problems somewhere along the line. It may not be enormous trauma always, it can be small things, but if it's had an impact on the brain and on our programming, if you like, then it will be affecting people for many, many years. So I trained after Quest, sometime after I'd been in Quest, I trained in EMDR, which stands for Eye Movement Desensitization and Memory Reconsolidation, which is a bit of a mouthful, which is a pretty well-known trauma desensitization I won't say technique because it's more of a process. And after I'd done that training, which is amazing, it's really powerful, I then had to work out how could I integrate my EMDR training with my cognitive hypnotherapy training. And over a period of about 18 months with a colleague, I developed what is a sort of version of EMDR, which we call AMDR, which is applied EMDR. Which combines both approaches, and actually it's super powerful. I'm now teaching other people to use it, mostly within Quest organization, but we'll probably expand it beyond that. And it's a really safe way of working with trauma, and it minimizes the risk of re-traumatization, and most of it's conversational. And actually, during COVID and the lockdown, I've been able to use it safely online through Zoom. So it's as comfortable as I know how to be to make clients as comfortable as I know how when they're actually working with difficult subjects. So that's my specialism, my passion. Well, all of it's my passion. I absolutely love what I do. I love being part of Quest, and I love helping people improve their mental state. But I suppose that's 100% my specialization now. And it continues to evolve and develop. So, we're discovering more and more. And it's all based, as Quest is too, everything that I do is rooted in solid neuroscience. So it has a really strong scientific basis to it.
So what's your Questy story? I mean, what was the reason you actually wanted to study it at Quest?
Okay, well, my Questy story is before Quest, BQ. I had already trained in NLP somewhere else, and I was a life coach, an NLP life coach. I was also a reflexologist, and my interest in feet was diminishing. I was getting more interested in people's heads than their feet. So I phased out the reflexology. I just knew I was sort of interested in hypnotherapy, and I was fishing around for a course that I was allowed to do because they're quite fussy. You have to have psychology degrees and stuff, which I didn't have. So I was sort of looking for a hypnotherapy course, and I went to a networking meeting, lunch at Christmas from antenatal teachers, which was what I was doing at the time. And it was one of those serendipitous things. I bumped into somebody there who I hadn't seen for ages, and she introduced me to someone else who said, who was a midwife, and she said she was leaving midwifery. And I said, so what are you going to do? And she said, well, I've just trained at the Quest Institute as a cognitive hypnotherapist, and I'm going to quit my job and I'm going full time with that. And my ears picked up and I went, tell me about the Quest Institute. And I got a sort of shiver at the time, actually. Anyway, I came home and had a look at it, and cutting a long story short, I started on the next available course, went and met Trevor and Bex, just thought they were fabulous, couldn't wait to start, and it's the best thing I've ever done, actually. So that's my Questy story. I've never looked back. So I trained, I don't know, it must be about 14 years ago now, I've lost track. And then I became a Quest supervisor in 2012, and I've been working full-time as a cognitive hypnotherapist for 10, 12 years now, and still love it. think if it's about having the courage to reach out for help, and I think, you know, by the time people reach out, they've reached a point where they know that they need something. You know, I think we struggle along, don't we? And then maybe we go to the doctor and get antidepressants, which may or may not help. And sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. I mean, that's another subject. But I think if they get to you know, when people are ready, they know they're ready and they reach out. I offer people a half-hour chat, and with absolutely no pressure, to just explore, so they can ask questions and find out what's involved with coming to a therapist. And many people are really scared of coming to especially a hypnotherapist, because it's got all of that old stuff around it, has it? Watches swinging and spooky stuff, which of course is not hypnotherapy. That's stage hypnosis. So I think the answer is reach out and maybe talk to a few people who offer an initial chat, which you don't have to pay for, with no obligation to buy, as it were. And then see who you feel comfortable with, see who makes you feel the safest, because, you know, the key to a good therapeutic relationship is mutual trust, respect. You've got to feel comfortable with your therapist, because it's a very vulnerable place that you will be visiting if you're going to be working on old traumatic events or difficult memories, whatever it is. Does that answer your question?
What about something that they could do also themselves? Because as a therapist, obviously, we know that there's a lot of things that they can do for themselves, as long as they know the tools and techniques, which obviously you teach them in your...
Well, I can show you butterfly tapping, which is a fundamental calming, self-help calming technique, which is fundamental to the EMDR and the AMDR process that we use. When you're going to work on trauma, before you go anywhere near the memory of the trauma, we do a lot of work on resourcing people, on helping people to feel safe, so that they've got a safe basis to come from when they're visiting difficult memories. So one of the techniques that we use in EMDR is butterfly tapping. So I don't know if you can see, maybe I'll just move my camera a little bit. Okay. So to do butterfly tapping, and anyone can do this, first of all, just shake your hands, really relax your hands. That's right, and just take a breath, get comfortable. And then when you just cross your hands across your chest, wherever's comfortable. Some people like to be alone, it doesn't matter. Or you can do it on touching the collarbone, whatever is most easy and comfortable for you. So find a comfortable place and make sure your hands are really relaxed. And then just maybe take a breath, an easy breath, just let it do itself. And when you're ready, you just gently start. No tension in your hands, just tapping very gently, left, right, left, right. And you might like to close your eyes as you do this. And as you do it, remember to continue to breathe and let the tapping take on a life of its own, so that it's just a gentle, easy rhythm. It'll settle into a pace that's right for you. And as you do this, just notice how you feel. Notice how your body feels. And if you continue to do this for a minute or so, you'll begin to notice that you feel a little bit calmer, because this actually does calm the nervous system. And obviously you can do this anywhere, anytime you like. If you just keep going, it does itself. And let your body respond. And then when you're ready, you can stop the tapping, open your eyes and come back. Just notice how you feel now.
Oh, I certainly am ready to fall asleep. Not ready to start my day.
Well, it's not the be all and end all, but it is a very helpful, very powerful technique. And actually, it's really good to teach it to kids. They like it and it's easy for them to do. And I have a colleague who specializes in working with young people, and she uses butterfly tapping all the time with kids. They really, really do respond well to it. So if you want to calm your kids down, if they get really upset, just get them to do some butterfly tapping so they can stop sobbing, and then they can tell you what the problem is. But it's good with anybody, any age.
Amazing. Thank you so much for this.
You're welcome. You're welcome.